Huh? Hey,
Hello.
hey, hey, family.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
family.
hey.
Welcome
Well,
to My Money is Your Money.
and welcome back. Welcome back. We missed you. We missed you. Wait, we've got to get all this stuff. You know, we've been out for a week or so we got to get stuff in order. Uh, turn your phone down. Okay, it's the ringing. It's the users. It's the users. Hey, family. Hey, family. Well, it's another Wednesday.
It's another Wednesday,
Yeah,
girl.
and we're just glad to be here,
Glad to be here.
glad to be alive, and we're just excited. We missed you last week. We just
Yes.
had to do a little R and
Yeah.
kind of do a little just rest
Yeah.
and
Australia, Japan.
and all of that. And so we're glad to be back, and we hope that your families are well and that you're safe. And you know what? It's just overwhelming that we're still dealing with COVID-19, and we're still dealing with racism, and so much has happened since we last talked. So we have a lot to dialogue about tonight. So we're just excited. And again, welcome to My Money is Your Money. And so
COVID-19.
we're just excited. So tonight we're still delving into our topic of the reality of racism, and it's still pognant, it's still here, it's still happening, and we just want to get your feedback. We just want to talk to you and let you know that we're trusting God to bring us through um, this pandemic, and we're praying for the subject of racism.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let me say this first. Invite, share. Hey, call your friends, call your family, call your loved ones, call your co-workers. Invite, share. Tell them that ML Hall and Dr. Vanessa Hall is back on. All right.
We're
Subscribe
back.
to my YouTube channel. We back. We back alive and in full color.
Yes, yes. And look, our call-in number is area code 424-390-6993. Again, that's 424-390-6993. And we want you to just call us and kind of give us your thoughts. You can just give us some feedback in the chat section, but we just want to talk tonight and just kind of relieve some of the pressure.
Trying to be fresh, man. We want to talk about a lot of things. We have a lot of things you want to talk about. Just call in and holler at your girl and holler at your boy and let us know that everything is still there, still together. I know you all been social distancing and in the house. What they call that in the house? What they call that when you're closed up in the house? Everybody closed
Yes.
up around the four walls. They can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know it's been some fighting and some fussing and some and
We
probably
hope
some
not.
cussing.
We hope not.
Yeah, this is real life. You
Okay.
know, they ain't used to
You go
staying with
over
each other.
there and I go over here. We just give each other a little break. We have to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
every so often.
some
Yeah.
people don't know how to do that.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
some don't know how to do that. Hey, we just gonna talk about a couple of things, okay? One thing I want to talk about. Somebody called your bishop this morning. Somebody called me this morning and said, this is off the record, saying that, hey, Bishop.
Is it off the record now?
Yeah, we put it back on the record. We put it back on the record saying, hey, Bishop, they setting out camp in front of your church. All them homeless people that they done put up a tent and they in front of your church. They cooking and they got grilling and they barbecuing in front of your church. They called me earlier this morning. And so they say, hey, you better get a deacon or somebody down there and get them homeless folks from in front of your church, man, before they burn it down or whatever. And I jumps up. I'm going, took my little shower and got ready, called my deacon. We going down to the church.
Church.
Yeah, we going down to the church because some homeless folk down at the church. So we going down to the church. Check this out. And on my way down to the church, I called Dr. Hall. I say, Dr. Hall, I'm going to the church, but I'm going down there because some homeless people down there. And if they can't be in front of the church, where they going to be? I have a change on. My theory is different. Okay. Where are they going? Okay. Where we going to run them to? If they can't be a part of your church on the outside, neither, and then they can't be a part of your church on the inside, what's the purpose of having a church? So I went down there and called the deacon. We went down there and I went out there and greeted him. I had my mask on and all that, went down there and greeted him and, said, hey, what's going on? How's everything? And most of them know me anyway. Hey, Bishop, what's going on? And I said, hey, man, you all look like you're hungry. So I just started giving out money. I said, hey, you go get you something to eat. You go get you something to eat. You go about 3 or 4, no, about 7 of them. Here, you go get you something to eat. You go get you something to eat. Give them about $20 a piece. So what? And I said, now go to El Pollo Loco. And man, they took off and went to El Pollo Loco like it was on fire to get something to eat because they were hungry. Okay. And then the other two guy was there. I know him real good. What's his name? Quincy. Okay. Quincy was there. And I said, Quincy, this is what we want to do. This is what Bishop wants you to do. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to get some bleach. We're going to get some detergent and we're going to get the water hose and we're going to clean off the front. Okay. And I want you to keep the front clean. Okay. I want everybody to keep the front clean. They say, okay, Bishop, no problem. We'll keep the front clean. And the deacon and I, and my Deacon Wallace, good brother, helped them clean it off and got it straight and looking nice. And I'm like, hey, let them keep their tent out there. All right. So what? They in front of the church. So what? I can't say what I want to say.
Don't say it.
So
Don't
what?
Say it. Don't say it.
Okay. We chilling in our backyards. We chilling in our mansions. We chilling in our home. We chilling in our apartments. And we having a good time and we flowing. I'm not talking about we. I'm talking about you when I said we are
Right.
all inclusive. Okay. And you all know you living good.
Right.
You
And
have
we're
a soft
eating,
bed.
We're eating good through this pandemic. Come on, we have to really think about it. God has been good to us. When
Yeah.
you really think about it, He's been amazing.
The Lord has been good. And man, I'm not going down there. And then I'm not calling them homeless people. Okay. They displaced. Okay. Or we can call it the homeless community, just like everybody have a community. Okay. The homeless community. And I wasn't going down there running them from, we ain't at the church any doggone way. Can't
Right,
say what I
right.
wanted to say.
Please don't say that.
Okay.
Please don't say it.
we ain't at the church anyway. Okay, buildings empty, and then we're gonna go down there and run them from in front of the church. They not sitting but on concrete. We want to run them
Right,
off
right.
the doggone concrete. Just be cool and just clean the concrete. That's what God put in my spirit. Okay, because I know I'm eating pretty nice every day. Go down there and feed them. Jesus always talked about remember the hungry, remember the homeless. Okay, remember the poor.
Right.
I wouldn't jump it up and taking a shower, running down there to get off my gate, get off from in front of my church. They need to be in front of the church. Okay, you ain't using it, so let them use it. If something tear down or get tore up, by the time we get back, we'll build it back. Am I right?
Yes,
Go
but we
ahead.
we just pray for safety for them, and we pray for safety for our ministry as well, right? Yeah, we do that. But look, something as Bishop was talking about, every year in December we provide free clothing and free toys and so forth for well over 2,500 families, and it's such a blessing that we're able to do that. And so, as Bishop was talking, I'm like, you know what? It's time to clean out my closet. It's time to do some
Oh,
things
Lord.
that we need to give back to the community now in COVID-19, because there are some people that are really going without. And so I'm going to be reaching out to my friends and to the GI family, to those that want to be a blessing to those that are less fortunate.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
we can do that again.
Yeah.
We can do our social distancing. We'll have everything in place, but it's just something that we can be able to give back, maybe give a full meal like we used to do, take those big pans of
Yeah.
food and provide
You gonna
for
clean out your
those that are
closet?
less fortunate.
You gonna clean out
Yes,
your
I'm going to
closet?
clean out my closet.
If she
And-
clean out her
and-
closet, hellfire, I'm gonna be in line to get some out of her closet.
But I'm going, I'm going to, and my shoes. I've got to.
Oh,
I've
I
got
need
to
me
get
some
rid
new
of
shoes too.
So,
I need some new shoes.
we want to make sure that we continue to show love one to another, because this is a very trying time, and I don't know what it's like. We've had members in our church that have gone without, who have lived, as they say, on the sidewalk. I've never experienced that. Thanks be to God. So I'm just grateful that God
Yeah,
has
we can do that.
provided a roof over my head, and I don't want to get so high that I forget where God has brought me from, and forget, I'm so high on the hog that I can't speak to someone that's on the street or whatever, because they are humans too. And that kind of ties into like our racism, how one race, the white race, feels that they're inferior to the black race. No,
Superior.
we're all God's people, and there's nobody bigger than the other, because when it's all said and done, I bleed and you bleed.
Yeah.
White bleed and black bleed. So
Yeah. So you all, somebody chat with me. Get on the chat. You all get on the chat. All of you that's looking. I see you looking. but you're not chatting with me.
Look.
Get on
So
okay.
we-
1 minute. Get on the chat with me. Get on the chat with me, and let's talk. We here to chat and talk so we can see what you're saying. Okay. Tell me what you feel about the homeless people in front of the
Yes,
church.
yes,
Should
much
we
better,
boot them
much
out the
better.
church or should we leave them in front of the church? Chat with me. Get on for the first time and say, Bishop, you should have got rid of them people in front of your church because they bad, they're going to stink it up or whatever. Or Bishop, you did the right thing by, feeding them, giving them something to eat, cleaning it up for them to stay there. Get with me, chat with me, and tell me what you're talking about. Tell me how you feel, if we right or wrong. If I was right or wrong, right? What you say,
Because
Doc?
you know what? I know where I am now. We know where we are, but we don't know where we're going. At any time, our lives could totally change. Everything we work for could be gone. We can have a major accident, can't walk, can't eat, can't do anything. So I'm just grateful. So every time I have an opportunity to be able to give to someone else, to show love or to show compassion, I want to be that type of person because I want somebody to show compassion to me because anything could happen or anything could happen to my kids and my grandkids, and I want somebody to show compassion to my brothers and my sisters in Christ. Hey, let me recognize some people that
Go
are
ahead
on
and
the chat with
recognize.
us. We want to recognize Deacon Wallace, Black Butterfly,
Who is
Sister
that? Who is
Ross.
Black
That is
Butterfly?
Sister Sandy.
Oh,
Sister
that's Black
Sandy.
Butterfly.
Woohoo!
That's Black
Um,
Butterfly.
and Sister Mother Ross, thank you for sharing with us. Ebony Hall. And I also see, let's see, Moni Scott. Sister Moni, how are you? I pray that you and your family are well. You're blessed and that you are safe. And thank you for joining us tonight on My Money is Your Money. And we're talking about racism tonight.
Oh,
And
we want to talk about that a little bit?
we've been talking about that for a few weeks because so much has been going on in our society. And so we wanted to continue to delve in it because every week there's something new. There's a new case. There's something going on. And so we want to be able to dialogue about it
Yes.
so you won't build up anger and all that type of stuff because it can happen. You will get angry of the things that might be going on.
And
all
that's
right?
the truth, okay? And before we get into Black Lives Matter movement, before we get into the Black Lives movement, y'all hit me and tell me, did I do the right thing? Should I have ran them away, or should I have gave them some food and some money and washed down the church and let them chill? Because
Okay.
we're not there anyway, all right?
Black
Let us-
Butterfly said, Bishop, you did the right thing because they deserve respect. They will feel compelled to come in and worship with us when the doors are open again. And yes, we
Yes.
thank God for that because even if they don't come in our doors, they go in someone else's doors. And the main thing that our motto at God Inspired has been since I've been there is saving the lost at any cost. And that's exactly what it means, saving the lost at any cost.
And so I got I'm just got feelings for people, man. Everybody in this fortune. I'm looking at it like this, Doc. It could have been Ebony, it could have been Rashad, could have been Devion.
Right.
It could have been my grandchildren. How would you feel if your child or your grandchild was in front of a building or a church, especially a church, and the pastor gonna run out there and hose them down? You know what I mean? Sick the dogs on them. You know what I mean?
Hose them down.
Come on. You know what I mean? But you say they need the hosing down. But no, how would you feel about that? You treat them like they are human beings. That's the way
As
we
they are.
asking white people to treat us like we human beings, and we gonna,
They just, a lot of them are those that are homeless are very intelligent. They just fell on hard times. They've had a situation that have happened to them in their life, and they just didn't come back mentally, or they didn't have the support they needed to get back on their feet. And all of us, at some point or another, we've needed to lean on somebody to help us to get back on our feet, to help us to start all over again. And like I always say, it's nothing wrong with starting all over again. All of us have had to start
Right.
all over. So we just want to make sure that we just treat everybody the same. Let's see. Did we get any other comments? Deacon Wallace said, I changed my mind, Bishop. I'm with you. In times like this, we need to show love to those in need. Great.
In need.
Good to hear that. Good to hear.
Good to hear that.
Yeah. So
And so that's one thing I just had to get off my breast.
Yeah.
Should I say my chest?
please say your chest.
All right. I had to get it up. Do men have breasts?
Please
That's
say,
it.
please say your chest. Don't start. Look, I didn't have time this morning to give him a disclaimer, so I have to give him a disclaimer.
Man, I
While
had to
we're-
get that off my breath, bro.
While
You
we're
know what I
while
mean?
we're live,
Yeah, while we live.
behave yourself.
Okay. But the homeless has a right to eat and sleep and and they in front of our church, and I'm not going down there pounding on them, running them away from the church. No, I'm
Right.
not doing that. All right.
So yeah, we're just gonna find a way and means that we can give them food, and then in the midst of giving them food, we're gonna give them the word.
Yeah. And that's what I was
Yeah,
doing, giving them the
we're
word.
gonna give them
I
the
was
word.
giving them the
Tell them
word.
about Jesus.
Clean up in front of this church. That's what I was giving them.
We're gonna give them
word.
the ultimate
Word.
word
Yeah.
is the plan of salvation, that they
Yeah.
accept Jesus Christ
Jesus
as their
love you.
personal savior.
Keep this church clean. That's what we telling them. All right. And so where you live, you keep it clean. All right. So you live in here, hell, keep it clean. Keep it clean. All right. And so that's where we are. All right. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay,
Let's
can
talk
you
about
stop yelling?
Am
in
I
my ear?
yelling? Am I yelling? Should I turn it? I'm yelling, huh?
Yes.
Let's talk
You are-
about the Black Lives.
Thank you, Jesus.
Black Lives
Hallelujah.
movement.
Hallelujah.
The Black
You
Lives movement.
You guys
Okay?
come on in, share and invite.
Share
Let
with
everybody
us.
know that we're on live,
We online.
and we're on Facebook.
We on
too.
Facebook also.
Oh,
Okay.
you guys come! Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And I told you,
What?
behave yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna
We're
behave
on
myself.
Facebook. Okay, we're on
Okay.
Facebook too.
But let me say this one more time before we go to Black Lives Matter. I got calls that homeless people was in front of my church, and they was barbecuing and they was having a good time today. And so I jumped up, went down to the church, okay, and I didn't go down to the church to remove them or get them out the way. I went down and said, hey, I know you all need more meat on this grill and y'all looking kind of hungry. Here goes some money. Y'all run to, what is that, El Pollo Loco,
El Pollo
and get something
Loco.
to eat, And me and Brother Deacon Wallace, and I said, hey, what we going to do, we're going to give you some, we had a water hose. Deacon Wallace went and got my great deacon, okay?
Deacon Wallace.
The Deacon Wallace, and we got some soap and washing powder, and we washed in front of the church, okay? And we told them, hey man, you can stay here. We're not running you from in front of the church. We just want to clean it off and make sure it's clean for you, because we didn't want no filth and all of that around the church. And so they was obedient. They cleaned. I mean, it's cleaner than when we was there, okay? And so they cleaned it off, and they put their little stuff back up. And the way I'm saying, I'm not gonna go GI and run homeless people that has nowhere to go from in front of the church. Hell, we ain't even getting them in the church. Okay, so we can't get them in the building, and then you don't want them outside of the building. What are we doing? Am I right?
You're right.
What are we doing? And so somebody hit me, y'all hit me and say, if I done the right thing. Bishop, you done the right
They
thing.
told you already.
And some more on here. They probably didn't know the story. Okay, because I'm sensitive about homeless people. I'm sensitive.
He is
okay.
Bishop is a giver. Oh my gosh.
Man,
It's
listen
like,
here.
oh my, I'm like, boy, oh boy.
And so now we go to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Okay. Can we do that?
We can do that.
Okay.
So have we
But
gotten all the
homeless people lives
housekeeping?
matter too.
Yeah, have we gotten all the housekeeping out of the way? Just to let you know, we missed you. Sorry, we missed last week. We had to just take a little breather and a little rest, but we're glad that you're back with us. We love you, GI. We miss you so much. We can't wait till we're able to kind of come together and fellowship. Thank you to all of you that are feeding the community with us during the week. So we're grateful for that. All right, Bishop.
Somebody say Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Racism, okay, anti-racism protests continue to spread across the United States and globally, okay? There's a growing call for defunding police departments and taking historical racist statues down from our country, okay? And that's just a sign of the Confederate, okay? What is the Confederate? Confederate is white supremacy, okay? The how you say it, the perpetuation, okay? The perpetuation of slavery. That's what it is, okay? And so those statues are going down in numbers everywhere, all right? And so and I'm happy about what our white brothers and sisters doing, what our Asian brothers and sisters are doing. They understanding the cause. Their conscience have been awakened. Okay, their conscience has been awakened, and so I'm really excited about that. Okay, because this racism in America, it probably won't stop in my lifetime.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
and it might linger through my children's lifetime. But I think through the third generation, about the third generation from where I am, I think that everybody is going to flow together because it's a melting pot. Everybody marrying everybody now. Whites marrying blacks, blacks marrying Hispanics, Hispanics marrying Asians. So it's becoming a melting pot. But all this, superiority, race think they superior over one race. That's crazy.
Right.
Okay. Because in my heart and in my mind, we the first race anyway.
Sure enough.
The black race.
Sure enough.
Can I say the black race? The black race is the superior race. And what I really think happened, let me tell you about this slavery. What I really think happened in the 1600s and before, around the 1600s, that the white man, okay, the European, I don't know what you call them, they went over to Africa. Okay, they went over to Africa, and what I believe, some of the stuff that I read, that the Africans over there sold some of the blacks to the white people, okay, that came in boats, all right, and so that's really a two-edged sword, okay. You black selling blacks to white, but besides that, the blacks got on the ship and they sailed to America. All right. And you got to tell a story. As they were selling to America, a lot of black slaves got sick. OK. Yes. And a lot of black slaves got thrown overboard. They don't never tell that story. OK. But once we got here, we was used as multitask slaves. We was used, slaves. And so we built this country. And let me tell you all something. Just in case you didn't know. Once we got over here, and we start learning the culture and maximizing the opportunity that was given to us. White folk came to realize that hell's fire. These black-skinned people are really talented.
Intelligent people.
And intelligent. Because whatever they used to pick the cotton, but hell, when we start picking the cotton, they got more cotton. Okay? They used to invent machines, but when we start inventing machines, then machines increase greatly. Okay, it is so many inventions that we have invented in this society the list is what?
The list is enormous of so many things that the black people has created and has implemented. So we're excited.
And like I was saying, once they became conscious that black people are intelligent, highly intelligent, that's where the problem came right there. Okay, they like, we gonna have to keep him down. We can't teach him how to read. We don't want to teach them how to take care and how to build, because we are so intelligent people. They become to fear us, and then they begin to put in laws for us. Okay, and then you got to remember that they passed laws. Okay, that slavery was what? That slavery was no more. Okay, remember the Confederate. Okay, they fought against the North. Okay, and so when the North fought against the South, and we know the Abraham Lincoln story. Come on, we know the story. I don't have to give you the whole story. Okay, Abraham Lincoln didn't know that if he was going to win the South. Okay, so what Abraham Lincoln said, I'm just paraphrasing. Abraham Lincoln said, okay, if you slaves, okay, gain up with us in the North and we defeat the South, okay, you would gain your freedom. Okay, and that's why so many black people gained up with the North, okay, and we defeated the South. Okay, and so what happened was, and 16, I believe it was a 1662, I think it was 1662, that the North defeated the South. Okay, if I'm a little off, you all chat with me and put me on target. Okay, they defeated the South, and so the slaves was free. Okay, but they didn't know that they was free in Texas. Okay, it was 3 years later in 1665 before they even knew. I think that's what it was. It's 1665 before they even knew they was free. Okay, all right, and so they had to take some federal troops down to Texas to let the people know that they were free, that the North had won, and that's where they got Juneteenth. That's where they got Juneteenth. Okay. And so that's where we are. All right. And then after that, after the slaves was free, check this out. After the slaves was free, then they invented these old crooked laws that's called the Jim Crow laws.
Oh, yes.
Okay. The Jim Crow laws was invented, or they put those laws together in 1877. All right. And the Jim Crow law lasted from 1877 to 1964. Can you believe that?
That's a long time.
That's a long time. And though the Jim Crow laws was state laws and local laws that enforce local principalities against racial segregation in the southern states. That's what the Jim Crow law was, okay? And what those laws did was, listen to me, they were preventing blacks from voting, okay?
Yes.
They didn't allow us to vote. What's going on today?
We can't vote.
We still can't
stop
vote.
us from voting.
They trying to stop us from voting.
We were watching the news. Was that I forgot? Was that in Georgia last night where the doors were locked? And the people.
Somebody said 1865. Thank you.
They were beating on the windows because they wanted to vote, and a judge had to overturn for them to open the doors for them to continue voting. That just happened last night. So that's just another form that they're still trying to prohibit us from voting. I believe that was in Georgia.
And Ebony corrected me. It was 1865. In 1862, the war was won. In 1865, that's when Texas found out that the slaves were free. Juneteenth, right? Okay. And remember that was 1865. In 1877, that's when the Jim Crow laws came in. The first thing the Jim Crow law did when they passed these state and local level laws, they prevented blacks from voting. Okay. Is it any women in the house tonight? Hit me and say, Bishop, I'm a lady and I'm proud of being a lady. Come on, chat with me, ladies, and say, I'm a lady and I'm proud of being a beautiful lady. Ladies, okay? Laws was in place where you couldn't vote until 1923. Okay? And you couldn't vote in 1923. And in 1877, they was making laws that we can vote, okay? That the black men can vote. And so what these laws was doing was preventing black men from voting. These laws were preventing black men from owning firearms. These laws were preventing black men, I could say black people, from having labor contracts, okay? And they was jailing black men for looking at for fat white women. They was looking at fat white women. And so you getting in jail for looking at, that's what I'm just telling you what I read, okay? And so they was, it said fat, F-A-T, fat, fat, okay? White women. All right. That's what they was in jailing men for looking at. What happened to the guy that got killed? Okay. And so and then what happened was, check this out. The white folks had to make amendments to their own constitution. Yeah, I'm talking. The white folks had to make amendment to their own constitution. And so that's when the 14th Amendment came in to stop the Jim Crow laws, the 14th Amendment. It came in. They wrote that for equal citizenship. Y'all look at it. Equal citizenship. That's why white folks had to write a law for their own self. When do you have to start writing law for your own self? That don't make no sense. Okay? It don't make no sense. That's just like, I'm going to write a law for myself. Bishop, you can't go in your bedroom at 8 o'clock at night. Now, that's a law. Now, I'm going to obey that law. I'm going to write a law for myself. That don't make sense. And so they had to write that law for themselves for equal citizenship. And then they had to check this out. Show you how cold white folks are. Check this out. They had to turn around. Not all of them, okay? Not all of them. I'm just saying some of them, all right? Some of them. Like Ali say, I don't believe nothing white folks say, but that's what Ali said. But they had to turn around and write the 15th Amendment for voting rights. Okay, check it out. Go look. Pull up the 15th Amendment. That's for voting rights. That gave us the right to vote. Okay. And so they had to bring federal troops in, okay, to push the 14th Amendment. And what they were doing is pushing equal citizenship for all blacks. Okay. And so when you think about it, that was just a entwined civil war again. All right, let me shut up before I get emotional around here.
Please don't get emotional.
Don't get emotional.
We're just gonna calm down.
But that's what we're talking about. And then that was the 15th Amendment for the voting rights for all blacks. Women wasn't allowed to vote until 1923. How you feel about that?
Dialogue with us. Hey, Bridget, how are you?
And so
Good evening.
that was a cold move right there, all right. And so now we running around here after 1862 and 1865. Check this out. Check how cold it is. Okay, America trying to police the whole world and tell everybody else about civil rights and human rights. Check how cold this is. Since 1865, okay, we still running around here saying Black Lives
Matter.
Matter. That's cold. That's a cold piece of legislation, huh? That Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm so glad that I'm with Dr. Hall here this evening because she is my co-op and and we're having a great time here. I think I'm talking too much. I'm gonna let her talk a little bit.
Well, we know Bishop usually just kind of takes charge, right? So we
You
all
want to
know
say
that.
take over. That's what you
Well, that is basically it, right? But we're so glad that you're here. We want to recognize Bridget Jordan, Innervata Hair Growth and Hair Care System. She was a wonderful guest on our show. Thank you for joining us on tonight. My money is your money, and we do the call-in number should come up on the screen if you have any questions, if you have any comments regarding our topic tonight about racism. We're just talking about some of the things that are currently going on in our society. So we want you to just delve in. Bishop has already given us a history lesson on the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment, talking about our voting rights and um, some of the things that we've had to go through since 1865 up until right now. We can say today because we're still talking about something that we've been deprived of for so many years. So we want you to just dive in, give us your feedback. Let's talk. Let's get your opinion of what you think is going on in our society. And if you believe that through all of these things that are going on, through all of the protests and so forth, do you think there's going to be a change in our society? If you think it's going to be within the next 5 to 10 years, tell us what you think and tell us why. Our call-in number is 424-390-6993. Tell us why you think through all of these things that are going on, if a change is going to come and how it's going to come. How do you believe it's going to come? And do you see any progress? Do you see any progress of what's going on? Or do you see, like I'm reading stories of there's been some hate crimes, things going on? Tell us about it. If you've had any instances with that, just let us know.
Yeah, folks being hung from a tree in 2020. And so these are some of the things that's going on. And we want you to chat with me, somebody, and let me know how you feel about Black Lives Matter. Okay, if they matter at all. And so I was looking at um, First Take this morning with Stephen A. Smith. I was looking at First Take this morning with Stephen A. Smith, and he calling out Jerry Jones. Where are you, Jerry? That's what he said. Where are you, Jerry?
That's his favorite team.
My team
so what
is
is
the
he going to do
Cowboys.
about his
My
favorite
team is the Cowboys.
Yes.
Okay. Then let me tell y'all something. My team is the Cowboys.
Don't
Okay.
say it.
And
You're
they've
live.
been and they've been my team for at least 32 years. Now I got a friend, you all don't know him. His name is Kevin. I ain't gonna tell you his last name.
Don't say it.
Okay.
You're
His name
live.
is Kevin. He's a Raider fan. If we have any Raider fans out there, y'all hit me. Hit me if you got any Raider fans. we, and so my team is the Cowboys. But I was saying to my buddy Kevin, okay, that Jerry Jones, okay, have to the end of this month to say something. He got to say something. He got to say something. All the people that has blessed his team, and every time, like Stephen A. Smith say, there is a camera, he's in front of the camera. When Kaepernick was making a kneel, he was saying, well, everybody in Dallas not gonna kneel, and so he was boisterous with all that was going on in the NFL. Okay, against Kaepernick, against the flag, and we knew that the kneeling had nothing to do with the flag. It had to do something with police brutality and the injustice in our society, and everybody knew that. And so Jerry Jones was against Cap. But now all of a sudden, the what they say have turned. The table has turned. Okay, and we ain't even heard from Jerry. We ain't heard from the Cowboys owner. Can you come up and say, well, you know what? I don't have much to say, but I agree with Cap right now. Come up and say something. If you don't come up and say something right now, I got bleached by a whole bunch of gear up there I want to give away. Okay.
You can take it to the people down at the church.
I'm going to take it to the people at the church.
I didn't I didn't say anything about giving my Dallas
I'm
sweatshirts
giving
up.
all that away. I'm taking it to the church. I'm giving it all away. And I got jars with money in it. I'm giving that away too. All the
Really?
jars with the money in it
Really?
because the money is contaminated along with Jerry.
Well,
and so
I'm gonna
Jerry
keep
better,
those. I'm gonna
Jerry
keep those
better
things.
speak up. And then I'm gonna become somebody have to say, Bishop, I'm of this fan. You can be this fan. I'm gonna become somebody fan, either a Rams fan, a Raider fan, somebody fan after I dump the Cowboys. Okay. And so Jerry Jones have to show up. Jerry, you got to show up, or I'm throwing all your stuff out. Yeah, because we don't have time for prejudice in our country.
Right. There's no
Okay.
place for it.
This is a great time, and we have to seize the moment.
Yes.
We must seize the moment, okay? And so you have to bring your children. I know some of you let your children wild out. You know, I'll be looking at Wild Out. Who was that guy's name on Wild Out? Somebody hit me.
Oh, let's see, I forgot.
He had Wild Out. What's his name?
Oh, it's
You know,
Nick
Cannon.
Cannon.
I'll
Oh,
be
yes.
checking Wild Out. They be wilding out and they be talking and they be wilding out and I'll be dying though. They are funny. Wild out, you know. One of my friends got me looking at that and I'll be wilding out too. It'd be funny. They be talking about one another. You know how we do in the hood, okay? But the point is,
COVID has done a lot. You can see because
you can see that.
and he's watching Wilding Out, right?
Yeah. You never watch Wild Out. Come on, Tuesday and Thursday. But like I'm saying, Jerry have to do something or we gonna wild out. Okay, we gonna wild out. All right. And so somebody hit me and let me know that Black Lives Matter. Okay, Black Lives Matter. And another thing that was going on that I mentioned earlier. Okay, I'm serious. Another thing that's going on is they snatching all these racist statues down.
Right. That's going on a lot. I think.
Yeah.
In a lot of states, there's a lot of statues that are being brought down, and Confederate flags. And I think we were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace, the only
Bubba Wallace, the only black NASCAR racer. Okay. Now the federal FBI come back that it wasn't a noose in his garage. Every Negro in Africa know it was a noose in his garage. Okay.
They believe it was there back in October because there was a photo or something. And
they made that photo up. Excuse me. that news was not there. I'm telling you, that news was not there. Look who's over the FBI. Who is the director of the FBI? Thank you. Okay, Barr. Thank you. Ain't he the director? The secretary? Yes. The FBI and all that up there, and he gonna say, "Hey, you better come back and say that news wasn't there." You know what I'm saying? You better come back and say that news wasn't there. And so, if you getting some orders from up top, okay, you're gonna make up some type of conspiracy that news was there. How in the world the news wasn't there and they found the news? Where was the news?
Well, they said it was hanging there since October. There were photos back in October, and the noose was there.
So you gonna tell me they gonna have me to convince that a noose been hanging in that garage since October?
Well, that's what
and none of them white folks noticed that noose.
Well, that's what the article read.
None of them. If a noose is hung in your garage since October, are you gonna recognize a noose in your garage? And hundreds of people coming. If I go to your house and see a noose and you black, I'm gonna say, what this noose doing here? Okay, and so that's a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of crap. Okay, you get them donuts to the kids, but you can't serve me no donuts. Okay, especially the ones with the holes in it. So y'all better go on with that. And so here we are, back to what Dr. Hall was saying.
Some of our comments in our chat line, Ebony, now more than ever, we're understanding that local change is imperative. And we had, let's see, someone else had a comment. Let's see. Black Butterfly. What do you think about the people saying that that was a garage pulley and not a noose?
Who gonna say a garage pulley is a noose? That don't make sense. You got to remember, ain't nobody pulling on no Hell's Fire garage no more. They got electronic stuff. You hit a button. I don't even pull my garage. And I'm in Inglewood.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even pull them. Who pulled their garage? Whoever got a house out there, are you pulling your garage up and down with a rope You're not in the 20th century.
But there are still some people that have manual garages. It just depends
Okay,
on when your home was built. There are some garages that people still pull up and pull down. They use the pole like we
They
used
use
to
the
have
pole.
back in the day. You know how we used to hold up our garages
Yep, with the pole. But ain't that Negro
there are
got a
still
noose.
some people that do that. Everybody
They
does
got a
not
noose.
have a genie.
So they got a noose.
I'm just saying everybody doesn't have a genie.
So do they have a noose? If you don't have a genie, it's a problem. It's a problem in the 21st century, and you still pulling up your garage. It's not it was a noose, and let's get on to the next thing.
Black Butterfly said that's the excuse they're using to mask it, Bishop, and we're supposed to believe it. I'm just saying what the article indicated, not saying that I believe it, but that's what the article stated. And so that's something to dialogue about. I mean, come on, we know better.
Shakarica Nicole says, and the card was red and black. Red and black card, come on now. We know what that represents, huh? Get the hell out of town when it get dark. That's what that represents. When it's black and red. Did you know that? No. You light skin, that's why you didn't know it. You my color, you know signals.
Black and red indicates
get
to leave.
out of town when it get dark. You didn't know that? Black and red. You black and red stand for blood. Get out of town. Okay. And so these are some of the things that we dealing with. I know you all cracking up. You looking at the bishop. Man, I'm making a lot of sense. We know that is a noose. We know that's what that was. Okay. Right. And we're going to get into this COVID-19 in a few minutes when we deal with this noose thing. Somebody else just made a comment about the noose.
Well, Sherika Nicole said, I'm with you, Bishop. Black Butterfly said, right, Sherika. They think we're dumb.
Yeah.
We're very intelligent, so we
they
know.
Still think we dumb.
You know, they send out all this stuff on media, and then they print the stuff in the newspaper, and they think that we can't read in between the lines and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just telling you what the newspaper said.
That's what the newspaper said. Okay, but still, the newspaper and the media gonna say what they want to say. Black folks are still not allowed to vote. Okay, now what they're doing trickery. They letting everybody stand in line for 1,000 hours, and then when time for the voting poll to close, they shut the doors.
Right.
What kind of crap is that?
Right, and then you got to go to a judge to overturn it, that you can, so your voice can be heard, that your vote can be counted. You got to go through all that. I mean, come on.
It doesn't make sense.
You're still trying to prohibit us from voting.
Jim Crow, that's what it is. Okay. Having labor contracts. Black men can't even get no labor contracts nowadays. Come on. If it's some out there to get some, but black men can't even get labor contracts nowadays. That's Jim Crow. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
And not only that, firearms. You know, black people can't even own fire. Let me shut up. I ain't going to tell that story when we went to, down there to the firearm place. Do you want me to tell it?
You're going to tell it. But we're on Facebook Live.
We're on Facebook Live. You better get you something to protect your house. Okay, you run around here crazy if you want to. What? If you legal. Okay? That we got that and that's in the Constitution. The right to protect yourself. Okay? They protected themselves, and so we got the right to protect ourselves. Let me tell y'all this story and tell me if this racism at the highest level. Okay? About 2 weeks ago, Dr. Hall and I and my daughter Ebony, we went to look at some guns. We just want to look at some guns, okay?
Just looking.
And just looking, if you want to believe that. Okay. We went to look at some guns, and check this out. Ebony, you have to make an appointment, okay? Even to look at some guns, okay? And so what my daughter did, she made an appointment for her and myself, and we on the list, okay? And so our appointment was at, I think, like 2 o'clock or whatever, all right, to go to the gun store, okay? And we went to the gun store. Check this out. We went to the gun store, and so we was on the outside. So we pulled up, bam, bam, bam. And so we stood out there. I'm saying bam, bam, bam. So we pulled up. We wasn't shooting. I'm just using that as the illustration, how they said, what they say in the hood. We just got up there real cool, all right? And so what was going on is we walked up, we stood in line. White man went in, okay? He went in. Knocked on the door, they let the white man in, all right? Knocked on the door again, they never let another white man in, and I'm gonna say, all right, okay, we in a sensitive time right now, so I don't want to agitate nothing. This is a gun store. So I don't want to agitate nothing. All right. And so they looked out and they saw my daughter Ebony. They said, okay. And Dr. Hall was standing there. Okay. Remember my name, okay, and Ebony's name was on the list to get in. Okay. She just came as a third wheel. My wife, all right? Dr. Hall came as a third wheel. All right. And so they looked out the door and they saw me, they saw myself, Ebony, and my wife. And so check this out. They told Ebony to come in. Okay, so Ebony went and gave her a ticket to come in. I'm like, okay, I guess I get my ticket next. All right.
Right.
And so the white guy looked out the door, and myself and Dr. Hall was there. Look here, Hell's Fire. She wasn't even on the list. They gave her a ticket to go in. And they told me, well, brother, you got to go eat you some ice cream. Oh, man. They told me I got to go eat ice cream. And I'm like, eat ice cream for real? And they left me out there 55 minutes standing in that blazing sun, and my name was on the list. Your name wasn't on, Dr. Hall's name wasn't on the list, but they let her in.
Okay, calm down.
She said, calm down. I'm like, and then when the brother got to work, our brother came to work, he said, hey, how you doing? I said, man, I've been standing out here about 55 minutes. They glad I ain't got nothing. I'm already I'm already dark. I'm real dark by then. And if the sun was up by 2 or 3, I'm like, man, I don't need no suntan out here. And so he said, don't worry about it. The brother went in there, and about 3 minutes later, the brother came out and gave me a ticket to get in the gun shop. Guess where the gun shop was? In Torrance. Oh, she said I'm yelling. In Torrance. They still prejudice in Torrance. Can you believe that? She did not have an appointment. Bruh had an appointment.
Well, he didn't want me to stand outside in the heat.
Somebody hit me and say, Bishop, that's straight up racism. If I'm on the list, Dr. Hall not on the list, and they let Dr. Hall and Ebony in, and they tell me, you go eat ice cream straight out.
Well, I think...
Don't tell me. You're going to tell me I'm a grown man. You're going to tell me to go eat some, I can't say what I want to say. You tell me to go eat some ice cream? What you trying to say? All right.
He just thought it was kind of hot, and he just offered some ice cream. So you can cool down. He saw you were probably just, it was just smothering heat, and you were just kind of sweating. So he decided to say, okay, why don't you just go get some ice cream and,
Well, hell, he should have gave me some money to go get some, if that's the way you felt. Am I right, Brother Gray? Hit me, tax man, and say something. Don't get quiet like Jerry Jones now. Don't get quiet. Now that was cold. I stood out there, church. I stood out there 55 minutes before they let me in. I should have got in my car, my truck, and went home and let them catch Uber, huh? But it wasn't their fault, so right. I stayed out there. Yeah, so what did you think? What was you doing when I was out there?
I was taking the test. I was taking the test, so I think that's why he let me in. Not that I was looking for a firearm. I just decided I wanted to take the test, and so that's why he let me in. I don't think it was just because of the color of your skin. You think it was because of the color of your skin?
Look at your skin. Look at my skin. Who close to white?
I don't know. I'm black. I don't know what color he
Black
thinks.
lives matter. Okay? I was a black man, and that was a prejudice move. That was a bodacious move on me. Okay? And so, since we talking about Black Lives Matter, I just wanted to throw that in there. If anybody think that was a prejudice move, wrong move, hit me, chat with me and say, Bishop, that was wrong. Your name was on the list at 2:00. And so when 2:00 came, Bishop, they should have let you in the door. Okay? And let Dr. Hall in the door if she wanted to get in. So somebody chat with me and tell me, am I right or wrong? If I should have got in, I know I should have got in. Okay? Now we're going to switch gears. You got something to say? They saying something? Now we're going to shift gears and talk about COVID-19. Okay? We're going to talk about COVID-19 because some of y'all think it is not serious. Okay? It's serious.
It's very serious. And
COVID-19 is serious.
Right. We just got some information from our governor talking about that our percentages were increasing rapidly. And so we need to continue to wash our hands, sanitize, social distance, wear our mask, and do all those things that will hopefully keep us safe. I mean, we know it's the blood of Jesus, and taking care of ourselves, eating properly, exercise, and all that kind of stuff. But we've got to make sure that we do the things that we need to do to help us um,
And
with this.
new analyst came out, Dr. Hall. New
Okay,
analyst.
before you get, are you delving into something? Because
No,
I
I was
believe we
gonna-
have a phone call.
Oh, we got a phone call. Come on with your phone call. Who is it? Hello.
Hey, my money is your money. Who's on the line?
My money is your money. Who's on the line? Don't try to steal now.
Hey, are you there? My money is your money.
I can't hear you.
Hi.
Oh, I can hear you.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I can
we
hear
can
you
hear you.
now.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? This is Jerica Nicole. I just had a question because you just mentioned Black Lives Matter, Bishop. And I know that it seems like you guys been keeping up with what's going on. So how do you feel when people say all lives matter instead of Black Lives Matter?
When people, oh, go ahead, get your spiel
Go
on it
ahead.
first. When people say all lives matter, I think that's trying to hijack what the movement is. That's what I think, because we all know all lives matter. Okay, but all lives are not being affected at this time in this season. Okay, Black lives are being affected at this season, and so that's what we're pointing out. They're not beating up white men and dragging them through the street. That come under all lives. They're not dragging Jews down the street and shooting them dead. That come under all lives. Okay,
Absolutely.
they children not scared to walk the street, and our parents are scared if your son is going to get home. Okay, that come under Black lives.
Or
So
fathers,
we
for that
understand all lives matter, but we're not going to let them change the narrative. Okay, we're going to keep the narrative to where it is. Black lives matter. Okay, brown lives matter.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. I just wanted to get your perspective from it. That's all. Just because you mentioned it and I thought of it.
Yeah. But what that was trying to do, Nicole, is hijack the narrative. Okay, all lives matter. So what you trying to say? Okay, what you
Right.
understand what I'm saying? What you trying
Oh,
to
yeah,
say?
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Total agreement with you. I'm in total agreement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I've
that's
heard-
that's what that is.
And I've heard white lives matter. So, everybody's coming up with, to kind of throw some more stuff in the game,
Right.
just to, oh, my life matters. Well, yeah, we're not saying that, nobody's life is nothing. Everybody's life is important. But like Bishop
Right.
said, we're talking about the circumstances that are arising now with George
Absolutely.
Floyd, putting his foot on his neck for 8 minutes, Ahmaud
Right.
Arbery, all those people, and some other names, like I've said in the past, that we don't even know about.
Right. And they're
Those-
starting to surface now. Yeah,
Right.
I just saw one today of a young boy that was like 21. It was a case last year that was kind of swept under the rug, but they're now like, trying to get that case back opened up. So I think either you or Bishop said it's definitely no, Ebony put it in the chat. It's definitely a imperative time right now for us as Black to I say take advantage of what's going on. Our voices need to be heard, and this isn't the time to be quiet.
And
Right.
you're right.
Yeah.
And you're right. And so, Nicole, what they did, they abolished the slavery in 1862. They found out June 19th in 1865. Okay, that was the Confederate. Okay, the white supremacy. Okay, who perpetuated slavery. Okay, and then they came in with the Jim Crow law. Okay, and what the Jim Crow law was they had it was called the Black Code. Okay, just when you get a chance, hit Jim Crow law and hit the Black Code. Okay, and
Oh
what,
yeah, I read the book.
oh, okay, so I'm telling the truth then, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you as
sharing
well.
with us. We hope to
Thank
have you
you.
back soon to talk about your wonderful business, Hung Up Boutique. And I can't think of the other one. What's the other business?
Then hung up in the lady's face.
Hey, my money is your money. All right, so we thank our caller for calling in, Sherika Nicole. Just off the top of my head, her business is Hung Up Boutique, and so you can look up her business and support her as well. I believe we have another caller on the line. I think we're coming in, and then we also
And
want to
so
recognize Innovator Hair Growth and Hair Care System. Also, look her up and support her business. Um, the owner is Bridget Jordan.
hello, caller.
Hey, this is my money.
Hey,
Is your
hello.
money? Hello,
Yes,
how are you?
you on the air?
Oh, how you doing, Bishop and Doctor? This Wallace.
I'm
Hey,
I
good.
how
just
are
want
you?
to. I'm blessed. I want to comment on that. Yeah, all lives matter. Okay, I agree with that. All lives matter. But I had put a comment that all lives matter, but the black men are the ones that's getting killed. Also, as a parent, yeah, all lives matter. But when the white people start telling their kids how to act when they get stopped by the cop, see, we have to explain to our kids.
Yes.
When you go out there, and the cop pull you, yes sir, no sir, put your hands up on the, steering wheel, don't move, don't reach for nothing, and the white parents, they don't have to say anything to their kid. They know their kid come home at night. As a parent, my kids go out. I'm staying up till my kids are in the house, so I know they stay.
You're right.
See,
You're
they
right.
not, they white parents ain't sitting up there worrying about, oh, where's my kid at? Did anything happen? But as black parents, when our kids are not, home one time, our mind automatically start going, praying God, please, I hope nothing didn't happen.
Hmm.
So, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, all lives matter, but black men are the ones that are getting killed, and black parents are the ones staying up waiting for their kids to get home.
Right, and it's not just the parents, like I said earlier. It's the fathers as well.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not just the young, but it's all of them. If you look suspicious, you look like someone else, and we thought you were this person, and we thought you were that, and then you're accosted by them. You're handcuffed, and in a lot of instances, you're hurt mentally and physically. So
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
we just have to continue to pray, and just hopefully some of this stuff will kind of subside, and it won't be so dangerous
But
for all of us. Not, and it's not just men, the women as well. We're able to walk the street.
Yeah. And so Deacon Wallace, the whole issue now, we have a climate, okay, where is we can say is the Dr. Martin Luther King climate round right now, okay, of nonviolence, okay. And so that's the climate that we're trying to keep in this season. All right. And what your president, not your president, I don't know who you voted for, but what 40
not him.
but what 45 is trying to do is get us to get the Malcolm X climate, okay? The Malcolm X attitude, okay? Because both of them had two different theories, two different
Yes,
concepts,
sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Dr. King would say nonviolence, and Malcolm X by no any means necessary, okay? We gonna get respect. So both of them had their own concept, and so we with the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., okay? The Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., okay? And with the non-violence, okay? But this thing can switch any minute, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Brothers
sir.
ain't scared like they used to be scared back in the 1800s and 1700s.
Yeah.
That day is over with, okay? That day is over with. And so it's a new day. Somebody hit the bishop and say it's a new day. It's a new day now. And so
Yes, sir.
we thank you for calling, and you have been a blessing in our lives, in my life as well.
Thanks
Okay.
again.
Well, Bishop, you know how I feel about you and Dr. Hall and my GI family.
Yes, we love you.
When I say I love you, I mean that with all my heart.
We love you.
And
Amen.
Yeah, we
y'all
love
have a
you as
blessed
well.
night.
Same
Thank
to
you for
you. Good
taking my
night.
call.
Good
Have a
night.
blessed night. And then let's get into COVID-19 before we go off the air. Before we
Yeah,
go off the air,
we just have a few.
let's get off.
We'll
off
just
COVID.
kind of touch on it just a little bit,
And
and
like I said, new analyst shows 21 states, Dr. Hall, with spikes in COVID-19 infections. 21 states. That's a lot of states,
with
okay?
spikes,
With spikes.
increase.
Yeah, that means increase, yeah. And the first state is Arizona, okay? Arizona infections is up, okay? Texas infections are up, all right? North Carolina, South Carolina infections are up greatly. California is going out the roof. Their infections are up. Oregon infections are up. Okay. Arkansas. Okay. Their infections are up. Mississippi infections are up. Okay. And Utah infections are up. Now these states are leading the way in hospitalization. Okay. And so we have to be careful. We are not out of the woods. Okay. Going everywhere and flying everywhere and doing everything. We got to be cool. And then some of us have to be cool with our children. We got teenage children and they out there willy-nilly. Okay. You don't know what they're doing. And then they come home and infect mom and daddy and then grandmama and grandpa. And so we have to be aware of that. Okay. And we have to be conscious of who we roll with and who we hang around. And Dr. Hall and I are very... I thought that was the FBI, somebody coming to get me, y'all. I thought they was coming to get you, boy. I thought they was zooming down on me.
He forgot he forgot he was live. That was funny. That was funny. But look, we got a comment from Sherika Nicole. She said we're probably going to go back on lockdown. It because of Governor Newsom, what he was talking about today, that he's ready if he has to put us back on lockdown. So I'm sure a lot of you don't want to do that because now you're able to kind of move around, but we've got to be careful. We've got to continue the precautions that they gave us on the onset so we don't have to go back into that same stead. So we've got to make sure that we take care of ourselves. We take our vitamins, do all that kind of stuff, because I don't know about you. I'm ready to kind of get back to some normalcy. I know it will be a while, but we don't want to go backwards. We don't want to regress. We want to progress. So we want to make sure that
and just stay with the people that you roll with. It's just a couple of people that I roll with. And I know what they're doing. So you have to do that. Okay. And what's so cold about it? The EU said they don't even want America in their country. Okay. The European Union. Okay. In other words, Europe. They don't even want Americans. They say you're not even invited. You're not even invited to come in our country. That's a bad stain on our prestige. That our country is being ran so crazy and bad and sad that other countries don't even want us to come. We're not invited. I'll put it that way. Now, what kind of government that we have is running the United States of America, who is the most powerful country in the world, and you can't even keep COVID-19 under control? That's bad leadership. Okay, so goodbye to France.
Goodbye. Oh,
goodbye to Germany.
I was hoping to get to Paris again.
Goodbye to Finland.
Okay.
Goodbye to Greece.
We have another comment before we kind of wind
goodbye
down.
To Portuguese.
Black Butterfly says, Bishop and Dr. Hall, what do you think is a good idea to get the young people to take this seriously? How do we get them to listen and actually stay in lockdown? Oh boy.
When they behind come down with COVID-19, and then they know it's serious. When they can't breathe, then they know it's serious. Okay.
We don't want it to get
no,
to
we
that.
don't want to get to that. But I'm saying, she asked the question, what would it take?
She's saying, well, we don't want them to get
no,
to
we
that.
don't want it to get to that. But she said, what would it take? Tell me, what would it take?
Well, I guess for them to actually have
They
someone,
can't breathe. Then they'll be like, okay, it's real now.
well, sometimes when it hits home, like if you have a friend or you have a family member that has gone through it and they've survived and they kind of tell you some of the things that they've gone through. I've had that to happen in my family.
Yeah.
And someone that was on the respirator for a long period of time. And it was just nothing but the grace of God that brought them back. So now it kind of hits home. And sometimes they need to have someone listen to a story to maybe someone their age that they can relate to, because sometimes when they look at older people, they're like, oh, you're just old, you want to stay in the house. But actually somebody that's young and healthy and they see that they can get it as well, sometimes that might help.
And so you have to be very let me tell you this, they be tripping on your boy. I'll be out there with 2 masks on, You know, they be looking at me. I have 2 masks on. Okay. And they be looking at me like, what's wrong with this food? Well, let me be a fool for right now. But like Bridget said, you don't know it till it hit you. It's down here somewhere.
The virus is silent
When it hit you,
until it hits you.
until it hits you. Yeah. Man, I ain't trying to get hit by nothing. I'm not even trying to get hit by the flu. I'm not trying to get hit by a common cold.
Right.
You know, I'm just scary. I ain't even trying to get hit. Okay. And so these are some of the things that we have to be careful. You have to, let me say it this way. You have to strong arm your kids if they live in your house, since you want to get down and ask the bishop what you want to. If you're going to live here, these are the rules. Dr. Hall is saying, these are the rules and regulations where I pay the note. Now, if you want to go out there and live willy-dilly and silly-lilly, go out there and you stay out there 14 days, okay? But for me in my house, you're going to stay in your room, or you're going to stay in the dining room or the kitchen or the bathroom. You're not leaving the house, because you're not going to go out there trying to hook up with your friends and all these, willy calls that they call them, and come back in here and infect everybody, okay? No. You're going to stay in the house. And if you can't stay in the house, get your stuff and leave. Like my mother told me, get your shift and leave. That's what she said. Get your shift and leave. And so that's it. That's what you're going to do. They're going to disrespect you and say, I don't care what you say, daddy. I'm going to go do what I want to do. I don't care what you say, mama. I'm going to do what I want to do. You can't stop me from coming in and coming out. I'm going to come in and come out when I want to. For real? Is that the way they run in your house? Who run in the house? The hen or the chicken? Or the rooster? Who run in the house? What you think? What you think?
Well, I've already given my opinion.
Dr. Hall said she already given her opinion.
All right, family. We'd like to thank you for tuning in.
No,
tonight.
we got 3 more minutes. We got 3 more minutes. Hell's fire. Even when my grandkids come in here, you better hit them with that little thing. That we got a gun. We hit them in little old. Let me see if you hot. See you hot or cold. If you're lukewarm, we're gonna spew you out. so man, hey y'all, I'll be having fun over here. But you have to take these kids by the hand and let them know, if they go out there and get infected and they come in there and they breathe on your old self, you gonna get infected. All right. And it's and 1 time out of 2, you ain't gonna survive. All right. If you over 50, you need to be talking. Holler at your boy. If you over 50, you need to be talking. Don't go out there and come back in here and infect me. Okay, you see what I'm saying? That's what the thing say. Over 50. You over 50? I'm over 50. So I'm gonna say what I got to say. And a whole lot of you that's chatting with me are over 50. All right. And so you got to let your kids know. Or if they got a key, when they come back, the locks are changed. Change the lock.
Help me, Jesus.
I'm telling you, either change the lock or death. Which one would you choose? Thank you. Thank you. I thank you, brother. I thank you. Thank you, sister. I see you. Thank you, brother. I see you. Thank you, sister. I see you. I thank you. All right. Change the lock or death. Which one you choose? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. See? Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bishop Intelligent. Thank you. I thought I was. Thank you. Bishop Smart. Thank you. Thank you. See? Change the lock. Which one would you choose? Change the lock or death. Which one would you choose? And so we got to get out of here, because I got to get back to Japan. And Dr. Hall, you have your last remarks, like they say in church. Do you have last remarks?
And the benediction.
In the benediction.
Well, thank you, family. Thank you for sharing in our session tonight. We hope you had a nice dialogue with us, and you learned some very pivotal things.
Change the locks of death. Which one you choose? For me in my house, I'm gonna choose changing the lock.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. My money is your money. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time. at 6 p.m. next Wednesday. Join us on Bishop M.L. Hall's channel. And just remember that we have our weekly prayer at 6 30 p.m. Every Tuesday, and every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Bishop M.L. Hall's channel. We have our worship experience. Please join us. We have an awesome praise and worship and an offering word from my very own Bishop M.L. Hall. And you're very welcome to join us each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Again, thank you. We love you.
Love you.
Dr.
My
Renesia
money is your
Hall.
money. I'm Bishop M.L. Hall.
Good night.
Good night. We holler at you. My money, your money.